Hi, this is Misty with Above and I am here with Tracy from Bamboo, and we're bringing you a special edition of Above and Bamboo this week. And we share a love and a real curiosity about people and how teams work together. And so we thought that it would be really fun for us to do a little collab on some topics that either our followers at Above and or followers at Bamboo are really passionate about, and leverage each other as experts on site. So we're going to start with an Ask the Experts, and we've got some questions that we think our followers would want to hear the other person answer. So I have a very common challenge that comes up with people that I coach, particularly mid-career and entry-level executives who have been told or they feel like they're not strategic. Mm-hmm. And it's a barrier for them, either inside their head or in reality in the organization. And so I'm interested to know, how do you determine if you are innovative and strategic, or and if you're not, what do you do?
Okay, so it's funny because I had a client who called me and said she was given this feedback that she wasn't strategic. And one of the things that it is hard to teach being strategic. That's hard to do, right? Because people don't know what that means per se. And so one of the easiest frameworks to think about this is there's an assessment called Foresight, mm-hmm. F-O-U-R-S-I-G-H-T. And it's a really simple little assessment, but it's a great place to start because what they do is they map the 4 stages of problem solving. Mm. And so if we're going on a trip, and let me ask you, let me do this example with you in a second. So the 4 stages are clarifier.
Okay.
I ask lots of questions about the problem.
Right.
Ideator, I have lots of solutions for that problem. Developer, I know all the different ways I can actually bring that solution to life. Implementer, I just get stuff done.
Right.
Okay, so if we're going
and do we move through that process? Does everyone move through that process, or do people have strength in one of those areas?
They have a preference in one of those areas.
Okay.
So they tend to have a preference. They may have a strength or a competency in a specific skill set of how to do things, mm-hmm. but they have a preference for one or more of those areas.
Okay.
So you can have a preference in 1, 2, or you can actually be what's called an integrator, which is all 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so if I said, Misty, I want to go on vacation,
mm-hmm.
what would you say to me first?
Where do you want to go?
Okay, clarifier. You asked me a question first. But if you were an ideator and you preferred ideating, and I said, Misty, I want to go on vacation, you might just spew an idea and say, oh my God, you need to go to
Marrakesh.
Yes, I knew she would say that. Always Marrakesh. And if you're a developer and we go one stage further and I say, oh my gosh, you're right, I should go to Marrakesh, then you're going to say, but if you go to Marrakesh, just make sure that you
stay at this riad. And stay in the old town. Don't go out of the old town. Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to develop a roadmap for me to have the best experience in Marrakesh.
Okay.
Now, if you just want to check it off the list that you know you've solved my problem for me, and I say I want to go to Marrakesh, what are you going to do if you're an implementer? You just want to get stuff done.
Oh, I can hook you up, right?
I can hook you up. I'm on the phone.
Done. I got the people.
Right. Yeah. So if you understand what stage of the problem-solving process you prefer, mm-hmm. and you catch yourself to go back to clarifier, you will be perceived as being more strategic.
Oh,
but there are plenty of people who go right to ideas. They go right to ideas, or they go right to, let me get it done. They go right to implementation.
Yes, because I think the perception is that I've seen is that people with ideas are innovative.
That's
they're strategic, right? Because they can think big and they've got big ideas.
Mm-hmm. No. People with ideas have ideas.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Newsflash!
Yeah.
People with ideas have ideas.
Okay.
And some people have more ideas than others. They're more skilled at ideation. That's a skill you can develop too.
Yeah.
But it's also a preference. So you might like that stage of the process. But to be strategic, you need to not be good at all 4 of these, mm-hmm. but you need to understand that all 4 of them are important to seeing the whole picture.
So if I'm not good at it, I might create a coping mechanism that helps me ensure that step is covered even if it's not my strength.
Totally.
Okay.
So like I am what's called a driver in Foresight. So I'm an ideator, implementer. Mm-hmm. And that means I like to get things done. I like to check the list, but I can come up with lots of solutions. But I have to intentionally slow myself down to make sure I'm solving the right problem.
Yes.
Especially as a consultant. If someone says I have a problem, and I'm a natural ideator. Right. I like that. Yes. I like to solve problems.
Yes.
I could just come up with all these solutions, but they don't feel heard because I haven't clarified the full breadth and scope of their problem.
Yes. Yes.
So I have to slow down, pause, ask more questions, And then I can come up with solutions that fit the right problem.
Yes, yes. One of the things that I talk a lot about is the importance of slowing down to go fast.
Yeah.
Slowing down does not slow you down. Sometimes in a situation like this, it sounds like slowing down is going to be the path to helping you be more effective and move more swiftly.
Yes.
Now, what if I work in an organization or I'm working with clients whose perception is that innovation is ideas, and I'm not strong at that? How can I develop that muscle? What do I do? What's my coping mechanisms for that?
So there are several different kinds of ways to assess yourself when it comes to innovation. So the foresight is one of them. The KAI is another one that we do a lot, and that's about the way that we are comfortable with creation. So we create for excitement, lots of big ideas, or we create for success, certainty. If you're in a culture that wants a lot of big ideas,
right,
and you are someone who wants certainty and success, you are going to be perceived as slow, holding them back, probably too safe. And if you are in the other kind of culture, which is risk averse, they want certainty, they want to make sure they hit their numbers, they want to make sure that they don't have anything that's too far-fetched, then if you are on the other side, you're going to be seen as reckless, wild, or loose.
Yes.
And so if you understand what the cognitive climate of your team is, then you can try to bridge to that culture. It will still be painful if you don't collect some more friends in that company. If you really are outside
more
the
like-minded.
You will have a hard time. Now, but to the original point, which is that, sometimes you do have to slow down to go fast, and sometimes you're perceived as slowing the team down. What you can say is, hey, you can say to your boss, you don't even have to take the foresight. You can say, what are the stages of the problem-solving process that you most enjoy? And you just ask your boss that. And I bet your boss will answer the question. You can say, I've been doing this work, I watched this webinar, and I learned about these 4 stages, and I'm just going to tell you what they are. They're clarifier, ideator, developer, implementer. You can use the example of the vacation. So someone who wants to go on vacation, they first ask questions, or they just come up with solutions, or they tell you what you need to make sure you do, or they just want to call their travel agent.
Right.
Your boss will be able to answer this question, I guarantee you. I've asked this question to thousands of people. I've never failed at this.
So this sounds like it actually could be a cool icebreaker that you could do. You could suggest that for your next team meeting.
Totally.
People are always looking for ideas to shake up those team meetings.
And if you want to take it, it's like a $20 assessment. I mean, it's nothing online. It's like a really good deal. So you can take it as a team. You can get a team report if you want to. So we recommend it for teams a lot. And then what you say is, hey, guess what? We have a lot of ideators on our team, but we don't have many implementers. And guess what? I'm an implementer. I'm your GSD person, So I'm going to get stuff done.
Yes.
And you guys come up with ideas. I don't need to be the one who comes up with the ideas, but I will get them done for you.
I love those people.
Right? You need
I love those people. I need those people.
Yeah. And so it's a really great eye-opener, and it gives a lot of validation to people who are different than you. Because we need, I'm an ideator implementer. I need a developer. I don't need process. I don't like process. I'll use it.
Yes.
But I don't need it for myself, but I need it for my team.
Right.
So I really have to be partnered with a developer. Okay. Because otherwise my team will burn out because they don't have someone showing them what the roadmap is.
Yeah.
And if I don't slow down as a consultant to bring in my clarifier step, I'm not going to have any clients. I have to make sure I'm solving the right problem. And we say in innovation all the time that most of the money wasted in innovation is because people aren't solving the right problem. If you can clarify that with your boss, with your boss's boss, and your boss's boss's boss, then you will spend less money making more impact.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to let people do stakeholder interviews. When our clients are afraid to let us talk to people at multiple levels, I want to know, what are they afraid of? Are they afraid they're going to look stupid? Or because they're supposed to know the very specifics of the question and the problem they're solving? What's the problem?
I would feel like I especially if I'd been in an organization for a while and even if it was a new challenge that came to me, I would assume if someone gave it to me, it was because they expected that I knew what I was doing. And so let's build on that. So this clarification thing, I think this is just endemic in organizations, and not even to do with innovation, but if you think across all parts of an organization, that we don't stop to clarify what the outcome is that we're going after. So what methods or tools or hacks do you have that are really effective and practical for people in clarifying or helping the organization to clarify?
To clarify the goals?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Sometimes you can start from the current state and go to the future, and sometimes you start from the future back, right?
Okay.
So if someone said, like one of our clients had a multi-billion-dollar goal in 5 years, well, that's very nebulous, right? It doesn't. What does that mean? How do we get there?
Yeah.
But we had to look at, okay, what is the category? What are the places that we win? What does it look like? We had them do an exercise. It sounds cheesy, but we had them do an exercise around like magazine covers. What are the headlines on a magazine cover? And everyone built their own magazine covers.
And so
It's
that was
kind
like
of
a future back of what they wanted the headline to be?
Yeah.
Okay,
and
that's
then
good.
we had them build the roads in. We call it, our process is called Vision Quest. So we have different roads and ways to get there. So then we say, okay, well, to get to this, it means we must have accomplished these measurable things. And they can be measurable in terms of money. They could be measurable in terms of market share. They could be measurable in terms of team engagement or involvement.
Yes.
It could be measurable in terms of competitive advantage.
Yeah.
It could be measurable in terms of consumer awareness, consumer love, consumer loyalty, consumer trial, like whatever they are. But we all know what these metrics are in business, but often we actually don't make the effort to get really specific on those outcomes.
Yes.
And then once you have those outcomes, then you put the aces in places to ideate how are all the strategies, what strategies might we use to get to those outcomes.
Yeah.
And then you have people rotate. Usually we have people rotate. So let's say you're on the people development track or the road, and you're building the team engagement outcome, and then you go, right, these are the strategies to get there.
Yeah.
Well, then someone from marketing and someone from finance and someone from sales can come and build on it from their perspective.
Yeah.
And so then you're getting a multidisciplinary perspective to build a roadmap for the whole team, and they understand the reasons for being of everything you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's so important. I can imagine that, I guess I'm thinking of two companies that I'm working with right now who desperately need this medicine. You know, they desperately need this slow down to go fast, right? Slow down and clarify. They're super clear on the vision. So like the big thing.
Yeah, the big
everyone in the
goal.
organization can espouse the big goal, and they're pumped about it. They're excited about it, but they don't know what they're doing between now and then. And because everyone wants to be successful, they come to work every day wanting to do a great job. They just create actions. They create things to do. And then before you know it, you've got a lot of expensive activities happening that aren't necessarily taking us forward. And so I love some of the language you used around, first of all, I love the activity of creating that future back headline. And then I like the road, was it road?
Roadmaps, roads. Yeah, the roads.
I like the roads in, and then the mile markers along the roads. I think
Yeah.
that's a great mental word picture. So that's really, really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, and then once you have all those initiatives, strategic initiatives, then you can pare them back and you can say, okay, we've got too many. What are realistic? Then you come up with the ones that are going to get us the furthest. So what are the top 3 on each road that are going to get us there? Because you have to also be realistic. And people are presenting PowerPoints to each other all day about this stuff, and they, like you said, busyness.
The busyness of business. I mean, it all comes from such a good place because people want to come to work and add value. People want to come in and be successful. But I think if there's one thing that I could shift in so many companies is that they would be outcome focused and not activity or action focused.
Right. So one of the questions I always ask people is, what would you do if you were to hire a freelancer to do your job? How would you break it up into roles, into projects?
Right.
If you were taking the hours of the day that you're at work and you were farming that out to freelancers, how might they do that? How they might do it more effectively, less effectively, more efficiently, less efficiently. But it makes you take a really hard look at how you're spending your time.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Because you would actually put an hourly dollar figure on it.
Yes. Yeah. So I always ask clients how much money's in the room right now.
I know. I've heard you do that before. I love that.
Yeah.